Hello and welcome to our discussion on the iShares Core MSCI EAFE ETF, also known as IEFA. This ETF is a popular choice for investors looking to gain exposure to international stocks, specifically those in the developed markets of Europe, Asia, and the Far East. IEFA was launched in 2005 by BlackRock, one of the largest asset management firms in the world. The fund is based on the MSCI EAFE Index, which stands for Morgan Stanley Capital International Europe, Australasia, and Far East. The index is composed of large and mid-sized companies in 22 developed countries, including countries in Europe, Asia, and the Pacific region. The primary investment objective of IEFA is to track the performance of the MSCI EAFE Index as closely as possible. The fund does this by investing in a diversified portfolio of stocks that are included in the index. The goal is to provide investors with the opportunity to participate in the long-term growth of the international stock market. IEFA is an exchange-traded fund, which means that it is traded on a stock exchange just like a stock. Investors can buy and sell shares of the fund throughout the day, and the price of the fund is based on the value of the underlying stocks in the portfolio. The fund is managed by BlackRock, and they are responsible for selecting the stocks that are included in the portfolio. They do this by using a process called indexing, which means that they try to replicate the performance of the MSCI EAFE Index as closely as possible. This is done by investing in the same stocks that are included in the index, in the same proportions as they are weighted in the index. There are several advantages to investing in IEFA. The first is diversification. By investing in a broad range of international stocks, investors are able to spread their risk across a wide range of companies and industries. This can help to reduce the overall risk of the portfolio and improve the chances of long-term success. Another advantage of IEFA is the low cost. The fund has a low expense ratio of just 0.08%, which means that investors pay very little in fees to own the fund. This is much lower than the average mutual fund, which can have expense ratios of 1% or more. Finally, the fund is also very tax efficient. Because it is an ETF, it is taxed at a lower rate than a mutual fund, which means that investors can potentially save money on taxes. As with any investment, there are risks associated with investing in IEFA. The first risk is the risk of loss. The value of the fund can go down as well as up, and there is no guarantee that investors will make a profit. Another risk is currency risk. Because the fund is invested in international stocks, it is exposed to fluctuations in foreign currency exchange rates. This means that the value of the fund can be affected by changes in the value of the dollar relative to other currencies. Finally, the fund is also subject to market risk, which means that it is affected by changes in the overall stock market. If the stock market goes down, the value of the fund will likely go down as well. Overall, the iShares Core MSCI EAFE ETF is a good choice for investors looking to gain exposure to international stocks. It provides diversification, low costs, and tax efficiency, but it also carries risks such as the risk of loss, currency risk, and market risk.